I'm Alex.
Nice to meet you, Jack. Pleasure.
Yeah, Jack, nice to meet you. So we're gonna start this interview right now. I'm just gonna ask a series of simple questions.
Okay.
So what would you say are your strengths and weaknesses?
I would say that one of my strengths is absolutely my ability to become a leader and be a leader. I can definitely manage and lead a group of people to success, but at the same time, I'm also allowing others to be leaders as well, letting them to share that collaborative type of work environment. I would have to say that one of my weaknesses sometimes is that I do get a bit flustered. Sometimes I like to take on a little too much than I can handle, and sometimes that does get to me a bit, and sometimes it's hard for me to handle situations like that. It doesn't happen frequently, but it has happened in my life, and I'm working on ways to balance a particular amount of work that I bring upon myself.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
If you were to ask a previous colleague of yours, like a professor or friend, what would he or she say about you?
They would say that I'm very charismatic. I have a very outgoing personality and can really talk to anyone, bring people out of their shell that maybe are a little more introverted. But also, just to be collaborative with people, share ideas and, be one that is open ears and open arms for anyone and, any ideas that anyone's willing to really share. So.
Okay. How do you handle or how do you work under pressure?
Like I said before, I do get a little flustered sometimes. Under pressure, though, depending on how much the workload is, I'm able to actually be very effective under pressure. Depends on the particular amount of pressure I'm put under. Say there's maybe 5 or 6 projects I'm trying to complete at once. That is quite a bit of pressure, to be able to complete those. But if I'm able to manage my time correctly and efficiently, then I can, absolutely work under pressure and be able to, complete the tasks that I need to complete. So, yeah.
Right. What is your ideal work environment?
Kind of going off what I said a little bit earlier, I do enjoy the collaborative work environment. Everyone being able to share their ideas and being able to put forth their own ideas, because that really does bring about, I feel like, the best work environment possible. Being able to take people's different ideas and make them into one great idea. And I think that's where a lot of successful businesses and workplaces really do strive to achieve, is a collaborative work environment. So.
Okay. Describe a time in your last position where you had to handle a particular conflict.
This wasn't exactly maybe my last position, but the one before that, I was a valet attendant for a while, over the course of a summer. And I remember my very first day, I was placed at outpatient. So I was stationed at a hospital. It was a free valet service, and I remember the driveway filled up with about 10 cars right when I started. And, I kind of did get I panicked a bit. I didn't really know what to do because it was my first day. I had been trained, to handle the situation. But so what I did was I walkied my manager and asked him, I might need a little help over here. If you can help me, please, be willing to do so. And he said, absolutely, if you need me, just let me know. And I was actually able to clear the driveway, the 10 cars, and attend to all the other customers that were approaching as well, in a timely manner. So it did put a lot of pressure on me initially, but I was able to, contact the right people in terms of management, let them know what's going on, and then, go from there, and was able to clear the driveway and, create an effective work environment. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That was good. You came up with an end result there.
Yeah.
Describe an ineffective teamwork situation in which you were involved in.
Let's see. When I used to work in a restaurant, I worked in a restaurant for almost 2 years, a little under 2 years. It was a great job. It taught me a lot about customer service and service-based jobs. And I worked with the owner's son, and it's interesting because you get the perspective of how that individual works. Just because he's the owner's son, I feel like he had different abilities than a lot of other employees there did. He kind of slacked off, didn't really put forth the effort And I had a big problem with it because I really pride myself on my diligence and how hard I do work, and he really just wasn't putting forth the effort that I'm sure a handful of other individuals would likely do if they were given the position. So what I did was I first approached him and was like, if you could just work a little harder. I see that you do have the opportunity to be a great worker, and just because he is the owner's son, I didn't want to approach the situation to where it could detriment me. So what I did was I approached him in a very kind manner and let him know how I was feeling, and we were actually able to resolve the situation without getting management involved, which I usually think is a great thing. Approach the person, approach the situation,
Right.
and try to resolve the conflict. With the individual first before going to management. So I was able to, let him know that, just kind of step it up a little bit, put forth the effort that I'm putting forth and everyone else is. And, we were able to effectively, resolve the conflict. So.
Well, that was good to do that. So
Yeah.
I think this concludes our interview.
That's good.
It was really nice meeting you.
Yes, you as well.
Nice
Pleasure.
meeting you too.
All right.